last comment about water, the board wants to kill it.
Right. No more water.
No more water.
No more water.
Bad idea.
Give me back my report.
Okay. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Phil, I wonder if I could add a comment, if this is an appropriate time.
Is it about the Northbrook water report?
I wouldn't touch the water with.
I touch it every day.
At the last meeting, I made a report about Swalco's plan update and how it contained this controversial recommendation to consider incineration. And I wanted to update and also amend a couple of things. One is an update. I said that the Lake County Board would consider approving and accepting that plan update at their December 8th meeting. Apparently they punted, and it will be on the agenda for an upcoming meeting. I'm not sure it's on the agenda for January. The other thing I wanted to comment on was to clarify two comments that came up during that discussion. One was that the EPA would no longer allow, that there was a movement within the EPA to no longer allow taking solid waste from one state to another. I called Walter Willis, the executive director of Swalco. He said only Congress has the authority to regulate interstate traffic. He knows of no such motion at all. The second comment that came up during that discussion was that there would be no more grants for solid waste disposal cited within Lake County, and that also is not a correct statement. So I just wanted to clear the record. Now I think that looking at incineration as an alternative is still an important thing to do, but I wanted to qualify these comments so that it was clear what the status is.
Questions? Two from my days at Swalco. As I recall, the delivery of waste to Wisconsin was proposed to be stopped by the state of Wisconsin, and I think they have the authority to do that.
I think they have the authority to do that. They've substantially raised their rates, and it might happen that they do decide not to take any waste from us. So that's a possibility.
In the minutes, I didn't pursue it, but maybe it was your minutes, the addendum minutes, the RPC's own minutes, where I think you say that the Lake County Board had previously killed the thought of an incinerator. As I recall, I thought they had simply taken it off the agenda for discussion rather than taking the action of negating the action.
In the 2004 plan update that Swalco put forward to the Lake County Board, it included a recommendation to evaluate incineration as a suitable means of disposing of solid waste. Lake County Board in 2004 chose to delete that suggestion from the plan update that they approved. And this time, now we're 4 years later, there's a residents organization who is trying to fight the inclusion of looking at incineration. And again, the Lake County Board, I think they're balking at it, and we'll see what they do.
Okay, thank you. Visitors wishing to address the board.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
That was a good address. Thank you.
Approval of the bills.
So moved.
Second?
Is that a voice?
Voice, is it
Yeah,
roll call?
sorry, that's a roll call.
Money.
Yeah,
Anything money is roll call.
you're right. So take it up.
Trustee Gravitt.
Aye.
Trustee Coombs.
Aye.
Trustee Masterson.
Aye.
Trustee Swadik.
Aye.
Trustee Chamberlain.
Aye.
Okay, bills are approved.
So good.
Let's see. Old business, I don't think we have any.
I mean, the fence, but we were gonna bypass the fence.
Well, that was tabled
That was our
the
table.
last meeting.
And it
I'd like to comment on that if I could.
Table?
Well, on the,
You can't comment on the tabled item.
Right.
I would like to comment on the way it is labeled. In the minutes, it says no vote was taken for the first reading. Now, that's a legal quibble, and I think we all understand that
Oh, I see,
doesn't matter much.
here's a second reading.
However, here's what I am concerned about. This is a major piece of legislation, and it has residents' attention on both sides of the issue. I don't think any of us are interested in pushing this through prematurely or too hastily. And for that reason, and one other reason, when we did discuss this a month ago, the lion's share of the time was devoted to resident comment, which I think is totally appropriate, but we trustees had almost no opportunity to speak about this. So I suggest that on the next agenda, that the fence ordinance be listed as a first reading.
And I had another proposal before we go on this, if you don't
Can-
mind.
Can I just clarify, so that's correct, Bruce, that's procedurally where we're at?
Well, if it says here second reading and we didn't vote on
We did
the first
not.
Yeah,
reading, then
that's
did
wrong
not.
on there.
then it's probably, we should just correct it here on the agenda because it's not a second reading if we haven't had right.
Okay, so it's just an agenda
Just
mistake.
because when they made a
It's
mistake.
an agenda error.
agenda doesn't mean-
What I had proposed, and I think this is really what the board needs to do, we need to have a meeting during which we take no comment from the residents, where the board discusses this ordinance amongst ourselves, and residents should be here to listen, but not for input. Because we can keep coming back and back and back and listening to the comments from the residents, but we can't act as a board unless we can interact as a board. And I think at some point we have to have a meeting where we reserve the right to interact as a board without input from residents.
We always have that
I was
option.
just
There's
sure.
nothing forcing us to vote. And personally, I'm in favor of getting as much input from residents as they want to give. I certainly don't want to cut them off.
I agree with
Not a
that,
good
but I
idea.
think at some point
Say
during
one
That's fine,
private
but
session.
the point is that we don't have to cut them off. Eventually, they will peter out.
I don't think so.
I'm
I
tired of saying the same things over and over and over.
think this is a hot enough topic that they will come back, because this is an emotional topic.
Right, but we're not at that point yet.
A work-type session,
Yeah, I think we
just
should
for
have
the
a work
board,
session.
is not gonna hurt anything.
No, I'm saying we're not at that
Open it back up to
point.
the residents for as many sessions as they want.
If we had to meet a half an hour early, and say during the first 30 minutes, the board will be discussing this issue without input. And after you've listened to what the board has to say, we welcome input from the residents. I mean, I wouldn't
We
mind
cross that
doing
bridge when we
that.
come to it. We don't make that decision tonight.
I was
No,
gonna say,
no, no.
but don't we always have the right to do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but we haven't done it. And I'm just saying that's something that we
We've
should do.
been trying to be receptive to the residents.
Well, I understand that,
Well,
but I also understand that we have to come together
there's
as a
nothing
board.
that precludes our doing that,
Right.
and I think we should.
Yeah.
This can be done ad hoc.
Bring that up to
Much good
Kevin
about
and
it.
Brady and
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
let her fly. Okay. Where are we?
We're at the FOIA.
Discussion of email retention policy.
Mike Haber was going to,
We're gonna defer
Just
that
defer
because
that.
Mike's absent.
he was going to